and thank you to SRMIST for conducting this course in a comprehensive manner, right from one small course to the up to the level of minor degree, and not to the only those teachers who are teaching it, but to the almost to all the teachers. So thank you very much. This may be a model example for us. Now I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Rajiv Saxena, sir. Vice Chancellor Jaypee University, AnoopShahar. So kindly tell your experience with UHV and your preparation and commitment towards implementation of this.
Very good afternoon to one and all. Namaskar. It's a wonderful step, I should say, taken by the ICT to inculcate a very healthy and happy environment in educational institutions. UHV is a wonderful area. During the lunch break, I was discussing with one of the founder of this particular dimension, Horizon, कि हम लोग अब उस एज में आ गए हैं. Particularly, I'm talking about the senior citizens, the vice chancellors, educationists. और जिस समूह को अब हम बिलोंग करते हैं, वहां पर ह्यूमन वैल्यूज की वैल्यू समझ में आने लगी. That's why it is a very wonderful step. At least the vice chancellors were called. And certainly, with having this one full day session over here on UHV and its importance, many of us.
Sir, आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी में क्या चल रहा है वो बताएंगे तो
बेहतर. I'm coming to that.
That will be useful to all of us.
I'm coming to that. Very nice. It's nice to have this activity in every university. As a vice chancellor, in last 2 years, we have held 2 FDPs on UHV. We have started a course since last 4 years, an BTech program, and after incorporating NEP 2020 in our curriculum, in every faculty, we have also introduced a course on UHV in every faculty. So many benefits we have enjoyed, particularly after introducing this, as what my earlier speaker explained. They are the dimensions where we have reaped the fruit of UHV. I once again thank you for giving me this opportunity, number one. Number two, thanks to AICT for organizing this activity. And lastly, I wish that all of us should introduce this course and introduce FDPs and educate our faculty on UHV values. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. So now we have Honorable Vice Chancellor Bishwajoy Chaterjee from University of Engineering and Management, Jaipur. Professor Tripta Thakur, is he Vice Chancellor of Uttarakhand Technical University? Is he here?
So good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to all the dignitaries on the dais. It's a privilege to be talking to all of you. It's a big honor for me, representing the University of Engineering and Management, UEM Jaipur. we have inculcated this course or integrated this course in 4 of our semesters, and we have followed the AICT model curriculum for that, and it is doing a big change. But I will start, as was guided to me, that what actually drove us to start this. There are certain points which I will very quickly say. So first and foremost, when I interacted with a few teachers and asked them that how will you define a student, a good student? So the answer that I got from the teachers was those students nowadays who can do wonderful artificial intelligence models, can prepare artificial intelligence models, which is the need of the day, is a good student. So I immediately realized that there is something wrong. So I immediately asked them that, okay, so if these 2 students who is good for you and 1 student who is bad for you, if you find that on a winter night, one of the students who is bad for you is actually getting moved by few people sitting or sleeping on roads without having a blanket, and that student purchasing a blanket and covering them, and the other student who is good in your class is not moved, then who will be a good student for you? So that was the first thing that drove me. And I got an answer, yes, this is an angle which we would have thought of. I interacted with many students, and I found that many of the students who are our students are going abroad and getting wonderful jobs and getting crores of packages. And later on, after 10 years, 15 years, I got to understand that their parents, many of their parents, are absolutely there alone in our country, and there's hardly anybody to look after. And I really found that there are many students who have taken up entrepreneurship or doing some sort of business in our country and taking good care of their parents, but still it is a thought process of our society that somebody, a student who is there going abroad and doing a great job with crores of packages, is a better student. But I always said that, okay, yes, he's a better student, but if he contributes for our country from there, maybe he starts a startup and recruits some Indians from your place, then definitely it is better. Or if a student is doing an entrepreneurship and even recruiting 2 people and doing a service to the society by providing them for their food and everything, then I believe he's a better student. These things drove us. Third thing, which quickly I will say drove us, was that I got to understand from the newspapers and talking to media people and talking to certain police officers that all across the country in many universities, drugs is making an impact. Drugs is coming in, and there are a lot of students who are committing suicides. I really believe that if we really take care of the students in teaching them value-based education, then definitely it will be better. And last but not least, I would say that we have talked enough saying that people understand that human values are to be followed, but they don't follow it or somehow can't follow it. That is one part of it. But believe me, if you interact with the students at the grassroots level, which I have done with many students, I got to understand there are many students who feel that Indian values or Indian human values that we follow is actually not good. It is their thought process that it is bad. Many students have told me straight over my face that the Indians feel that there is God in many things. For example, there is God in the Ganga river, because our Indians feel that's why they pollute the Ganga river, and that's why other rivers in other countries are better and our rivers are bad. Many people have straight away said this. I felt this is dangerous. This is absolutely dangerous, because if you feel that human values is good and you are unable to implement it is one thing. But if you feel it is bad, then it is dangerous, which is happening to many students. I really thought this has to be addressed in a different way. And I really felt that AICT has come up with a wonderful curriculum and we should follow it. We quickly started it, integrated this AICT model curriculum of universal human values in 4 of our semesters and got a result. But apart from that, very quickly, I will say, we integrated some practical things. What we did was we said that in certain days of the year, our students and teachers all will sit together along with the so-called 4th class staffs that we say, even if he is a sweeper or anything, we'll sit together and have lunch together, a step that we you talk to them, interact with them, understand what is happening. That way the students may be getting some insights that how human values can be inculcated. Then we have started a morning prayer every day. We have started with national anthem every day in the morning. I think that helped us. We took 15 villages, 60 women per village. We started adult literacy, 60 women and 15 villages. So 900 women to be given literacy. We started this initiative and our students were given the responsibility that you go and teach alternately. So one student will be teaching for 2 days, another student will be teaching for 2 days, we'll be forming a syllabus and accordingly we'll do it. They did it and they really felt very good about it, and their notion and their absolute value, we could understand it absolutely changed. We started a center of sieving in our university, within the university, and few girl students who were good at sieving, they were given the responsibility to teach free of cost. And we actually paid to the student in return that if needed, we will pay you. Some students took, some students did not, but they imparted the sieving training. And some of the women are actually doing entrepreneurship. They have purchased sieving machine and doing some sort of living for them, arranging for some sort of living for them. There's another action that we taken. We had actually, during Diwali, we take all our students every time, and we take some to some NGO or some places, and we actually make them interact with the students, give them food, give them gifts, and enjoy the whole day with them. I think that also helped the students, motivated the students to do better for the society. These are some of the actions which we quickly take. For future, I was told another thing, that in future, what are we planning to end with? I will say only one thing. What we will do is, in future, right now, the UHV answers, the UHV question paper is a theoretical one. They study in 4 semesters, they appear for a question paper, they get a question paper during their exams, write answers and get marks. We'll change that in future. We'll integrate the practical aspect to it. That is, students will be doing UHV related thing, doing good jobs for the society, and what they have done will actually influence them or actually influence the teachers or help the teachers to give marks to those students. This is how I believe we will integrate better universal human values in our university. So to end with, I'm very, very excited about this course, and I really, really want that this is something that AICT has done, and it is one of the best steps that AICT could have taken. My thanks to all of you, my regards to all of you. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you very much. This UEM, University of Jaipur, is doing excellent work, not at their own university, but they are facilitating the surrounding also. Recently, they have extended their facilities and expertise to the school education in Rajasthan. So I'm really thankful to them that they are extending their facility for remaining surrounding people. Thank you very much. So now I invite Professor Vinay Kumar, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Chaudhary, Devi University, Sirsa, Haryana.
मंच पर उपस्थित विजय कुमार, कोई नहीं, अभी तो नंबर मेरा आ गया, क्योंकि मेरे साथ शायद भाई साहब का ज्यादा प्रेम है। 2002 से 2017 तक मैं माननीय रजनीश अरोड़ा जी के साथ काम करने का मौका मिला मुझे। पंजाब टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी में मोहाली कैंपस में रजिस्ट्रार भी रहा, तो इसलिए प्रेम की वजह से मैं यहाँ पर हूँ। मैंने 26 मई 2025 को चौधरी देवीलाल विश्वविद्यालय सिरसा में एज ए वाइस चांसलर ज्वाइन किया। तो 2 महीने देखने के बाद, क्योंकि नए गए थे, तो मैंने रात को 8:30 बजे के आसपास रजनीश अरोड़ा जी भाई साहब को फोन किया। तो इन्होंने मुझे कहा भी हाँ जी क्या बात हो गई। मैं कहा मुझे ना जरूरत है पैनल्स की, कुछ पैनलिस्ट थे अपने पास पुराने ह्यूमन वैल्यूज को लेके, उनके नाम और चाहिए। उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि आप चरणजीत मदान जी से बात कर लो। तो यहाँ से हमारा विश्वविद्यालय में यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यू की एफडीपीज और उसके वर्कशॉप्स का काम शुरू हुआ। मैं आपको 5 मिनट में अपनी बात रखूंगा। 2 चीजें बताना चाहूंगा कि मैं वो पीढ़ी से आता हूँ। 8वीं में हमें एक, जब हम पढ़ते थे तो मेरे दोस्त और हम बड़े खुश होते थे, आज चाहे कुछ भी ना पढ़े 2 नंबर तो आएंगे ही, क्योंकि 8वीं में एक प्रश्न आता था, प्रश्न पर मत जाए, सिकंदर ने पोरस के साथ क्या सलूक किया। और उसका उत्तर हम सबको पता था, जो एक राजा दूसरे राजा के साथ करता है। उसने उस समय से मेरे मन के अंदर वो बात बैठी हुई है कि मैं जब भी हूं मैं टीचर हूं और अंत तक टीचर ही रहूंगा, टीचर के नाते को लर्नर हूं। हमारे विश्वविद्यालय में थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम्स थी, दिक्कत थी, डोरमेट स्टेट में थे सब, पर जैसे हमने यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यूज का कोर्स स्टार्ट किया तो उसके पहली वर्कशॉप के अनुभव बताता हूं कि हमारे वहाँ लॉ डिपार्टमेंट के अनुभव कथन में 3 बंधु हमारे ऐसे थे जिन्होंने पिछले 4 साल से एक दूसरे के साथ कभी बात ही नहीं की थी, किसी विषय को लेकर उनमें अनबन थी। और इसके गवाह है वीके शर्मा जी हमारे और चरण मजान जी। उन्होंने एडमिट किया कि हमने बहुत बड़ी गलती की है, इस कोर्स ने हमारा जीवन बदल दिया। उसके बाद उन्होंने ओन किया, डिपार्टमेंटल इशू तो कम हुए हुए, साथ साथ एक नेकी की दीवार हमारे गेट के बाहर उन्होंने खोल दी कि सामने मेडिकल कॉलेज बन रहा है और वहाँ 1500 के करीब और मजदूर हैं, उनके बच्चे हैं, उनके लिए कपड़ों का इंतजाम हम खुद करेंगे। पहला चेंज जो हमारे वहाँ ये आया। दूसरा, मेरे साथी बैठे हैं रविंदर जी, मेरे साथ हैं, टीम में काम कर रहे हैं। इन्होंने खुद अनुभव किया कि मेरे में भी बड़ा चेंज आया है। अब मैं किसी के साथ बैठकर भी कहीं भी कोई ना कोई काम बगैर किसी फ्रिक्शन के कर सकता हूँ। तो हमारे वहाँ पिछले 8-10 साल से अपग्रेड नहीं था, वर्किंग में नहीं था। कम्युनिटी रेडियो स्टेशन वो वर्किंग में है आजकल, ये उसकी देन है। हमारी जो पत्रिका आती थी वो भी अब चल रही है। बच्चे जो कभी आपस में, हमारे वहाँ तो कल्चर थोड़ा सा त्रिवेणी है, तो अब वो बच्चे हनुमान चालीसा का पाठ करते मंदिर में बैठ के, नहीं तो वो घूमते थे। पूरे विश्वविद्यालय के कल्चर को बदलने का काम किया है। ये 10 महीने पूरे होने के बाद मैं बड़ी अथॉरिटी के साथ बता रहा हूँ। और अगर ये कोर्स हमारे वहाँ मैंने अप्लाई किया, मैं क्या नोडल सेंटर अगर हमारा AICT का बनता है तो डेफिनेटली हम बहुत अच्छा करते हुए आगे बढ़ेंगे। अभी इस वर्कशॉप में जो आया निकलकर सामने कि हमारे बच्चों को यही पता था लाइफ इज ए रेस। जब स्टूडेंट्स की वर्कशॉप हमने अपने एंड पर की तो आप देखिए कि वो बच्चा हमें बताता है कि लाइफ इज नॉट ए रेस सर, जीवन तो जीने की कला है। तो उससे मैंने पूछा कि तुझे ऐसा क्यों लगा। कहते 2019 में जब कैफे कॉफी डे वाले ने सब कुछ होते हुए भी आत्महत्या की तो उस टाइम उसने कुछ लिखा था, उसने पोइम सुनाई, में भी मुझे याद नहीं है, तो बच्चों को भी बदलने का काम किया। आज हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर 3 सपोर्ट सर्कल काम करते हैं। पहला स्टूडेंट सपोर्ट सर्कल, दूसरा एकेडमिक सपोर्ट सर्कल और तीसरा रिसर्च सपोर्ट सर्कल। और आपको मैं बड़े इनविटेशन देता हूं कि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी बहुत सुंदर है, आप आइए एक बार, आप आएंगे आपको चेंज दिखेगा। ये यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यू कोर्स की देन है और मुझे लगता है कि हम आने वाले समय में बहुत अच्छा काम करेंगे। और कुछ थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम रहती है हम सब में, क्योंकि हमने अपने चश्मे को तो प्रोग्रेसिव कर लिया, क्योंकि बाउंड्री थी ना पहले, कुछ सालों पहले यहाँ चश्मे की बाउंड्री खत्म हो गई, पर डिपार्टमेंटल बाउंड्रीज अभी भी रहती हैं। एक दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट से निकलकर काम नहीं करते, पर ये मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी और होलिस्टिक एजुकेशन की बात करते हैं तो थोड़ा सा हम सबको भी प्रोग्रेसिव होना पड़ेगा। थोड़ी थोड़ी बंदिशें अपने ऊपर भी हटानी पड़ेंगी और लगानी पड़ेंगी। तो मैं अपनी एक छोटी सी कविता सुनाकर अपनी बात पूरी करूंगा, क्योंकि यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यू का कोर्स मैं कई वर्षों से 2011 से हम पढ़ते भी आए, सब किया। तो उस टाइम मैंने लिखा था अपने अंदर के रावण को देख शर्मिंदा हूं मैं, हिम्मत तो देख फिर भी जिंदा हूं मैं। उसके थे 10 सर तो कम नहीं हूं मैं, भरी पूरी किताब हूं भ्रम नहीं हूं मैं। पंख भी है खुला आसमान भी है, पर ख्वाहिशों से बंधा परिंदा हूं मैं। हिम्मत तो देख फिर भी जिंदा हूं मैं। अपनी थोड़ी थोड़ी ख्वाहिशें कम करते जाएंगे तो मुझे लगता है कि आज की और आने वाली वर्कशॉप्स हम सबको बदल देंगी। और राष्ट्र के निर्माण में राष्ट्र प्रेम की बात कर रहे थे, ये जब यूनिवर्सल ह्यूमन वैल्यू आती है तो उस प्रेम के बिना आती ही नहीं है। तो वो प्रेम होता है तो ये बात चलती है, राष्ट्र प्रेम होता है तब। मैं थोड़ी सी बात उल्टा लगी हो, पर राष्ट्र प्रेम तो सब में अंदर है ही, बस उसको थोड़ा सा जगाना है और पूरे विश्व को रास्ता दिखाने का काम करना है। आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। साधु।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Now I request Professor G.K. Prabhu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sikkim Manipal University. He had been earlier Vice Chancellor at Jaipur, same university. He had done a lot of work at Jaipur and of course as Sikkim too. So now I request him to have a brief about this.
Yeah. So good afternoon. I'm Dr. G.K. Prabhu, the Vice Chancellor of Sikkim Manipal University in Gangtok. When these courses AICT suggested to introduce in the engineering program, I was the director of Manipal Institute of Technology, MIT Manipal, Karnataka, one of the largest engineering college. And when I joined as a teacher, Sathyanarayanan was in the final year. I also claim that I'm his teacher. But when this course was introduced, sir, I was totally confused that whether such course can be or values can be taught inside the classroom. But largely, I know that this is the requirement for this generation of students. But the confusion inside is how to teach. Because for us, when we were students or when we are young, the teachers are right from the house, my mother, my father. But there are many teachers, yes, they taught us, but not directly through the course, but by their actions. Later, even my friends, roommates, they brought all these kind of an emotional stability, how to cope up during the exam, everything. Most of these components of the courses, for me, it is I learn outside the classroom. But today, there is a course which came, some guidelines, the requirement. And today, even AICT chairman was also mentioning the instruments to evaluate. But for example, in the class or in the exams, we say cooperation, teamwork. In the other word, we'll say malpractice and we'll punish them. There is something that which we can be done outside the classroom. It could be very difficult in the very structured way. Then I, along with few of my faculty members, we went through the faculty development program, which AICT gave with all those things. And then we got some kind of a confidence, yes, even these can also be taught in a structured way to the classroom, but we did it as only as an audit, but we never initially did as a credit course. During that, there is another circular came from the AICT when Sahasrabudhe sir was there. Orientation has to be done differently. When I was a student in the engineering college, I was always looking for this, why these senior professors or the administrators are not interacting with us. I never had anything to share with them, but I had always dreamt about meeting them, talking to them. But when I became the director, I thought that I introduced something which is called as soon after the orientation, when the parents, students are there, instead of giving a big lecture, I said, walk with the director. Anyway, in the morning, I'm walking with my wife. I invited them, those who are interested, you can walk with me. To a surprise, there are 3,000 parents and students. They came in the morning to walk. I did not know how to walk with them, but anyway, it is not the walk. I may be there, but they themselves talked, and the student became friends. Parents become comfortable at the end of the day, that when they left their child in the campus, they are so confident they have the friends with them. And today, if you see that in MIT Manipal, even after 10 years, the walk with the director in the early morning, it becomes a event, which is also happening. But it is not only during the orientation. Later, even senior student also started, sir, why don't we walk with you? And during the walk, of course, they don't walk fully with me. They wanted to say something to me. They tell. My wife also, although not connected to any activity, but she also took a very important role, especially some girl students to talk. And this is what would happen. And this, initially, there were so many complaints about the institution, facilities, teaching, learning, evaluation. But after about 10, 15 days, these questions came as an innovation. Sir, can we do like this? Sir, I can take part in it. And this is what it is really happened. Later, I became the Vice Chancellor in Jaipur. Now I was so happy. There is a very success model that I have it. And now I am the Vice Chancellor. It is not only the institution, the whole university will walk with me. I announce, walk with the Vice Chancellor. Sir, no one came. Day on day, I only announcing it. No one is interested to walk with the Vice Chancellor. Of course, then I realized what would be the reason. There are multiple reasons. Maybe Jaipur may not be the good morning to walk, either too cold or too hot. And another part, it is soon after the COVID, it was not easy to go. The third point is maybe it is not a campus based. Who will come from the city just to walk with the Vice Chancellor? The fourth point is, sir, they are close to their own directors. They are not close to the Vice Chancellor. He is the one level above. If their problems are solved with the director, why they would walk with us? So what got you here will not get you there. This is one thing. It is the context it makes the thing. Now I am the Vice Chancellor of Sikkim. I never have the courage to make it because I can't walk. It is so hilly. Even if I walk, I can't talk while walk. But this is new thing which I have done there. It is called as Dil Ki Baat. Of course, Prime Minister Modi ji has started Man Ki Baat, but Dil Ki Baat is something that I go and talk to the students. It's no connection to the subject, sir. It is all those things, sir, which you put it in the different way to only to bridge the gap between the students, to get that confidence and the trust. Once, if they build the trust with the teacher, there are something that they cannot share with the parents, they can also do it. Now I started something called as a tea with the Vice Chancellor. Of course, now students will come. Ek chai milega. Okay, but where it is self-invitation. Anything that which they have done it, other than academics, which they feel it is something that is very proud, they will come and share. Sir, appreciation goes a long way. And during the appreciation, it is my excuse to talk a little bit about ethical part, talk a little bit about the loyalty part, talk a little bit about the emotional part. This is something that which we can do it. So maybe a multiple things as a Vice Chancellor or as a teacher or a director, we may have to do apart from whatever the curriculum. But more important is we need to build the instruments, as a chairman mentioned today. There is a lack. There is some kind of a challenge. The hardest lesson for me is a context, especially in this HIV course or this UV, because where it sometime it clicks, sometime it doesn't. But I think we need to experiment more and more. I'm very happy all the courses, even in Sikkim Manipal University, the Jaipur where I was there, and even in Manipal, MIT Manipal, in all the three campuses. Today I'm representing all these three of them. So we are doing it, but this is the nicest thing that which we can do. But and with all of you, we are also learning as a teacher how to do it, how to make it is impactful, and how it will be instruments which we can give them that the students will take it is very positively and meaningfully. Thank you very much today to meet all of you and to learn from you. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू वेरी मच। उन्होंने सही कहा है कि ये गैप जो है दो लोगों के बीच बढ़ता जा रहा है। कहीं ऐसा भी देखने में आता है कि आदमी जितना बड़ा होता जाता है वो चाहता है कि दूसरे लोग मेरे से दूर रहे तो बेहतर है, वो खुद भी गैप बनाता रहता है। मुझे लगता है कि ये इस तरह का गैप ही कहीं भरने की जरूरत है। तो भरोसा ने ये rightly pointed out this gap between student teacher and gap between administrator and other people should be minimized. Thank you very much. So now I request Professor B.V. Ravi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Bengaluru North University.
Good afternoon, everybody, all the dignitaries on the dais, my dear brothers and sisters. So let me congratulate ACT for organizing an excellent program on introducing this universal human values in our holistic value-based education system, which is the need of the hour. I am Professor B.K. Ravi. I am the Vice Chancellor of Bangalore North University. I was earlier the Vice Chancellor of Koppal University in Karnataka, which is in the northern part of Karnataka. Only recently I took over as the Vice Chancellor of Bangalore North University. I think since morning, even our Professor Yogesh Singh, the Honorable Chairman of ACT, and Professor Sahasrabudhe, all of them, they made an excellent presentations where introducing universal human values is the need of the hour, especially in almost all the curriculum. Basically, in our system, what we are trying to do is we are concentrating more on technology, more on skills. And most of the time, the glorification of technology is up to the core where we have started forgetting what is called the concept of morality, or what we call it as human values. See, when we were children, we come from the rural background. We belong to the joint families in our days. It was a very huge family where we always used to have an attachment, where our grandmother used to tell us folk stories. There are a lot of morality in them. And we used to read Panchatantra. We used to read a lot of Indian folk tales and all cultural tales and so on and so forth, where the imagination of a child as an educationist, as an academician, if it does just look into what exactly is happening, where exactly we are lost. The imagination of the child at the primary level, I think it is costing us very heavily, because most of the time, when my grandmother was telling me a tale, when a magician used to cross 7 seas. See, imagine a small kid of 4 or 5 years imagining a magician crossing 7 seas, because we never saw a sea during our childhood. See, the imagination of an individual, the imagination of a child, imagination, creativity of a student needs to be strengthened at every point of time. And when we were students, we used to study what is called the moral science. There used to be a separate paper, used to be a separate teacher who used to teach us moral science. There used to be a lot of moral values and so on and so forth. So basically, because of the technology, glorification of technology, where we are missing the link is we have forgotten what is called the concept of these human values and the morality. And we have to tell our students, this generation, because this is the need of the hour, because of the nucleus family. In almost all urban cities, you have the husband, wife, both of them are very busy working. You have a son, you have a daughter, you have a very big bungalow universities. So all the 4 sits in 4 rooms. The mother calls the son to have the dinner through your WhatsApp. And what is happening to the concept of family communication, which is a very alarming situation, especially this country, though our national education policy 2020 has an answer to all these questions. So basic thing is, we have to involve basically these moral values, what is called the universal human values, in our curriculum. We should see to it our younger generation is involved with us. See, basically the thinking of ours was, it is my country, it is my nation, it is my state, my language, my relatives, my friend. my friend's friend, he's from this place. See, all these relationships we had, but most of the time, because of technology, if you have an individual, isolated child, isolated student, where it will give a lot of negative thinking, negative concepts. And I really do not know what depression is, especially even today, I do not know what the depression is. Many of my students, they come and tell me, sir, results are delayed. I'm in depression since 15 days. I really do not understand. So we have to train them in the field of these human values. We have to strengthen their thinking. We have to tell them this involvement and love and affection towards the country, our history, our culture. So all these things will definitely strengthen. And I think when I was in Koppal University, we had a lot of some certificate courses on these universal human values courses, where even the rural students had an excellent opportunity to have an excellent exposure. And I think in the coming days, we may have to think seriously on these lines, where we may have to introduce these universal human values in the curriculum. Unless we introduce and we try to work it out, I think this nation definitely will have to face a lot of problems. So I think as the academic leaders of this country, I think all of us, we have the greater responsibility of strengthening this India. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So now we have a Director Academic and Planning from JNTU panel. JNTU Ananthapur. Sathyanarayanan, sir. Dr. Sathyanarayanan. Please, your experience in 5 minutes.
The dignitary on the dais, and my fellow participants. Good afternoon to all of you. Myself, I am Professor S.V. Sathyanarayanan, Director Academic Planning, JNTU Ananthapur. JNTU is one of the technological university in the state of Andhra Pradesh. We have 6 government institutions as well as 140 affiliated colleges. And in 2020, we have conducted the VC conclave at JNTU University Ananthapur, and our Professor Sahasra Buddhe has delivered the talk on the need of UHV to all our affiliated college principals. And with that motivation, I am fortunate to attend the 5-day faculty development program conducted during the Corona period. And really, I wondered, whatever the things that they have taught, I mean, they explained during that workshop, these are the things which are already known to us, but the thing is, it is not a structured one, and the implementation is one of the issue. So keeping that in mind, we have revised the curriculum in 2020, and we have introduced the UHV in the student induction program. Our Rajul Asthana sir also visited the JNTU University Ananthapur and addressed all our faculty members as well as the students during the induction program. And we have introduced this UHV1 as in the student induction program, and successfully we are conducting this 21-day student induction program almost in all affiliated colleges. Because of the delay in admission process, sometimes it is becoming a difficult, but still we are trying to conduct this program and explaining the students the importance of the UHV. And in addition to this, we have a compulsory core course and the second year first semester, that is for 3 credits. Almost more than 50,000 students are admitted into the university, and all these 50,000 students are studying this particular course of EHV, and more than 1,000 faculty members in the Rayalaseema zone where our university is situated. This EHV, I mean, people are trained in the faculty development program. I hope the things are going well at our side, but in spite of all these things, we are from morning onwards, we are listening about the need of the UHV, and I strongly believe this UHV should be there, not at the higher education system. Maybe it has to go to school level, where of course the parents and family should explain to their kids about the importance of this human values. But because of this and there is no compound families, because the family now consists of only father and mother, and the kids are unable to understand what is the meaning of these human values. Maybe what the AICT has already taken initiation to introduce this UHV course at the higher education system, but the government can take the initiation to introduce it as a part of the school education. Maybe that can go in a long way for the benefit of the student community. They are going to become the future citizens of the country, and maybe that Vikshit Bharat, whatever we are talking about, maybe we are technically gaining and moving forward, but the thing is we are forgetting about our culture and values. So maybe this is the one of the important thing that we have to look at. And we are also offering a minor program at JNTU University Ananthapur for 18 credits. The students who are interested to study, they can register, but unfortunately no student has registered for the minor program in the last 5 to 6 years. But one more important thing is Government of Andhra Pradesh has introduced the higher education, AP State Council of Higher Education has introduced the concept called as the community service program after the end of the second semester. So where we have a community service program wherein the students has to go to the villages, has to spend some time with the villagers and explain, carry out some sort of a community service program. Maybe the knowledge, whatever I got today, whatever the things that I listened from them as a director of academic planning, what I can do in future, I can ask all my students, spend some time with the villagers, explain them about the human values at the villages. Maybe that will go in a better way. And in the last, our Professor Prashanti, she is a professor of mechanical engineering. She is a regional coordinator for South Central, taking a lot of initiation for motivating the affiliated colleges as well as the faculty members at the university, and we are conducting several programs. I can assure all the people who are here, and we can take this further forward and can do something good for the society, and that is going to create harmony among all the people. Thank you one and all for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much. JNTU Ananthapur is doing extremely well, so thank you very much. So now I request Dr. Vinay Kumar, Pro Vice Chancellor of SRMIST. We had a detailed discussion, presentation on SRM initiative and their. So now Vinay Kumar to conclude about their way forward.
सभी प्राध्यापकों को सादर प्रणाम. I'd like to share a few points about the initiatives that we have taken at SRM. My colleague presented the journey that we took at SRM. The fundamental thing that I see for the universal human values education at SRM is how do we make sure that from value educations to value-based education, that transition is something that we are actually looking at. Here, this is an August gathering of all vice chancellors from various universities from across the country. Each one of us know that, these days, the buzzword is liberal arts education, and every other university is actually trying to make sure that, there's a liberal arts kind of a, program in every university. And it's like, the most trending kind of a thing. And of course, the national education policy to a certain extent, made education itself as a liberal framework. I think there is one more intervention that is needed, which is the universal human values education. And just like the world over, people talk about liberal arts education. One day, I think the universal human values education system should, the people all over the world should be talking about this, because the liberal education has limitations. As a curriculum policy, much of what we teach in the inaugural session Professor Yogesh was talking about, how we are actually teaching selfishness in a certain way. And through all the programs, it's mostly materialism and nobody is talking about self. And that's where, we have come up with a model and it's a working model all across this country and it is making change. And we all the educators who have gathered here are concerned about students, and that's why we are here. And we want to make this impact in the lives of our students so that they become the citizens that we're actually making them to be. Now, the fundamental thing is, while we think about universal human values as an engine of transformation, it's important that what we should also understand what is happening to students. Students currently are, they have access to all types of substances. It's quite accessible everywhere. They have access to content that is actually not so good on their mobile devices. They're continuously on mobile devices. And through all of these, platforms, they are also getting educated in a certain way. Okay, we are competing against those systems which are non-linear educational systems through linear methods. So we should understand how do we actually counter the bad influences of the substance abuse and the content on the mobile devices and things like that. Because no matter how best we devise the curriculum, no matter how well we make sure that our students actually practice the values, we have these formidable enemies in a certain way. We have to realize that, and we should devise strategies so that the entire program has certain meaning for our students, and that's the challenge that I thought I share. And then more such forums. Actually, we should basically debate about these issues as to how universal human values education system is going to be the answer, or maybe a better alternative than liberal arts education, or how universal human values education is going to be an education system that actually counters much of the bad influences that are that we are faced with today. I think those should be our debate points, and we should have conferences on that as we go along, I guess. And our program is a very small, minor program. Right now, there are about 60 students, but we are going to expand it quite rapidly. And we are moving to value-based education soon. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Now it's the time to conclude the session. I'll request Professor H.D. Charan to conclude the session with his experience with UHV. Professor Charan is former Vice Chancellor of Bikaner Technical University.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Vice Chancellor on the dais and all my friends. First of all, I'll share my experience as a Vice Chancellor. I was Vice Chancellor of a technical affiliating university of Rajasthan, Government University. That was covering almost half of the Rajasthan, having 71 colleges. I was first Vice Chancellor there. So I was knowing something about UHV. After attending some conferences of UHV, what were expected from the conferences, that's what I was knowing. But I was knowing that this is very good and I need to introduce the students. So I asked to change the syllabus and scheme so that this course is to be introduced. Of course, those who are from government institutes, they are knowing that changing syllabus scheme is very difficult task. To replace one subject and introduce another is very difficult. Even to change the subject in the semester from even to odd is difficult. But it was a new university and new Vice Chancellor, so it was not difficult, much difficult for me. So I asked them to introduce in engineering, as the ICT is also telling. Then I asked them to introduce in, not why only engineering, all engineering, MBA, MC, hotel management, all. This subject is required to be taught. So that was introduced. Then very next moment, who will teach it? So conducting workshop, that too in the summer, it was difficult, good resistance from the faculty. But anyhow, us managed to do it. Then I find that there's a lot of problem, relation problem with the faculty, always resolving issue of the faculty within the department, within the committees, we appoint the members in the committee. One will telling, I will not be committee member with this fellow. I not talk to this fellow. So this is a problem, major problem in relationship. Then I thought all the faculty members of my constituent colleges, they should undergo the human value courses. I had 8 days workshop for these faculty members and find that there's encouraging results and relationship is really improving. Then at the same time from the constituent and the affiliating colleges, those faculty who were teaching it, they were undergoing the workshop, but they were complaining that our principal is assigning other unrelevant duties. So kindly ask the principal to go for this class. So then I conducted a 3 days workshop for the principal of all the 70 affiliating colleges. So then they were very happy that this is really what everyone is supposed to learn as a human being. Then they told me, okay, we are all right, our faculty is also all right, but our owner, Malik ko humko dusre kaam deta hai, sir. Then I connect all the owners of the universities to 1 day workshop for that. Then whole environment was very conducive, very supporting to each other. Real people were living the relationship. And that time it was 2020, we started COVID. And during COVID, students were very much afraid what will happen to them, their career, exams are not there, studies not there, but trying to have online courses. That time, very first time, this online course on human value, online workshop on human values were introduced. First time. My faculty members, those who has undergone the UHV, they thought that we will conduct a workshop for the students. I inside thinking that it will be difficult to teach the student online, that to human value. But looking to their enthusiasm, I told, okay, you go for it. They prepared very hard, prepared for 1 month how to teach online, and they conducted a workshop for 250 students. But results were very much encouraging, much more than that is expected from the teachers. And starting from that, they thought that each and every student of that Bikaner Technical University, almost 8,000 students, they conducted workshop to 50 students. That's a real great change in the students. So that became only possible because of the commitment of the teachers, and that came through the UHV only. They were doing very hard work during real COVID time when everyone was within house, they conducted this. Then I asked by all college people to take at least 1 college, 1 school, adopt one school and introduce UHV courses. They adopted 1 school, 1 college, 1 school. On 70 colleges, they adopted 1 school from their region and they started UHV work. So this way, I think that UHV is the solution to every problem. This is what I wanted to say. Ultimately, UHV is the solution to every problem. So whether the administrative or with the students, ultimately that can be solved. So with all my fellow members, they have experienced their sharings and their way forward how the UHV can be introduced in their institutes and then to be brought to the in real sense with the living with the holistic value-based education. So thank you very much.
Thank you to everyone present here, especially all the esteemed VCs. Thank you for this enriched discussion and sharing from your end.